This dog thinks he's a cat because he was raised by his cat siblings.
I was sitting on the couch one day and I look over, he would just sit there and he would just knead and was so content kneading on that blanket. We have cat trees in our living room and he would run over to them and start climbing on the scratching post next to my other cat. And then all of these things just started connecting and I was like, oh my gosh, this dog, it thinks he's a cat.
Osito came to the shelter when he was barely a few days old.
Its eyes weren't open, its ears were closed. It looked like a little teddy bear, which is actually how he got his name, Osito. I love fostering neonatal animals. They have to be fed every few hours.
As he progressed under Haley's care, her cats started taking an interest to Osito.
My cats, they are good with fosters. They allow them, they're not upset when I bring new fosters home, but they don't always necessarily like them. But Osito was so tiny that he really couldn't keep up with my dogs. But my cats, on the other hand, were perfect for him. They would hop into his playpen. They would hang out near him. They could play, they could cuddle, but it was just like this perfect match of energy. With Osito, they just didn't mind him. They liked having him around and they just got along from the start.
Little by little, Haley noticed the cat-like things Osito would do, like playful pouncing or kneading on his blanket, even playing with cat toys.
As time went on, he just started to do all of these other things like them. Big one was definitely making biscuits on his bed. He would just sit there and he would just knead and just was so content kneading on that blanket. He would pounce around the living room with the cats. He would even try and swat them when they were playing, just like the cats do together. If I was trying to play with a string toy with my cats, he's running over, just joining right in with that.
Haley was looking for the right home for Osito, and then someone absolutely perfect came along.
So when he came home, he fit right in with everybody. Of course, the cats took a couple days to see who this big dog was, but he still loves his little cat laser. He plays with the cats with that, and he has his cat toys too. When you pet him, that special spot like underneath his neck, he kind of like nibbles a little bit and like he just kind of kneads on your leg. Like if you got the good spot, or he starts doing like little nibbles on the side of your face. Cute watching him grow up.
I think he really showed me that even the tiniest of animals with the saddest of stories can really just have these amazing outcomes if you're just willing to put in a little bit of extra work for them. And it really just shows people how amazing it can be to rescue animals and to help by fostering and leading them into a home where they have that chance to just thrive and become amazing pets for people.
Everyone's response was, oh my God, that beagle's not killing that rabbit. Beagles apparently are bred to hunt bunnies specifically. This was a rare, unique friendship. When Rue and Chloe first met, they immediately were both drawn to each other. They would always sleep in with us. We'd bring Rue down and she would immediately just go right under the covers with Chloe. Chloe would be like walking and Rue would just be like walking under her. So you could tell that she felt safe around Chloe. Rue, she was only 2 years old, but she got sick unexpectedly. The vets let us take her home. And I'm not kidding. The second we got home, she passed away right next to Chloe. Then there came to a point where we saw how Chloe was just missing something. She'd go to Rue's room. She wouldn't understand. So we were like, we should probably start trying to open our hearts again, even though it's hard.
Megan and her boyfriend spent months trying to find the perfect companion for Chloe, and miraculously came across the kitten, Clea.
Clea was just in an accidental litter in our neighborhood, and we decided to take Clea in. She was way too young to be like separated from her mom and her litter. When we brought her home, she was scared of Chloe and kind of scared what was going on, but within 2 days, she kind of like adopted Chloe as her mom.
Now, these two are inseparable and continue their message about kindness despite your differences.
You can be kind to those who are different than you. And I think especially Chloe is just the prime example of that because she just accepts anyone. And with Chloe and Rue, their friendship will be so unique. Clea, she brings a whole different energy to this friendship and this house, but the message still remains. Clea has fit into our lives so perfectly that I'm like, there's no way that Rue didn't send you. I've just looked at her and been like, oh, that looks familiar. When Clea's mad, she'll like
flick her feet. And when bunnies are mad, they flick their feet, which cats don't normally do that. Clea always sleeps with her 2 back legs, like all stretched out, so you can just see her feet, and that's how Rue slept too. And I'm like, okay. Everyone has a super heavy heart about Rue, but they absolutely love Clea. And I think part of it is, you know, we get comments all the time, it's like Rue sent her, like that's Rue reincarnated. So I think people love to think about that idea and hold on to that idea.
Pit bulls are stereotyped as vicious, but you can't always believe what you hear.
It's okay. They're not going to hurt you, big scaredy baby. He just really loved kittens because he sees the crate and he's like, yes, game time. Like, I know it's my time to shine. I didn't realize how many people were so against pit bulls, bully breeds. There's so much negative media around them. An old coworker of mine, she said, do you not know about those dogs and how they turn on you? And I was so taken back because I just had never heard such like hatred towards an animal. Like Kairo is so mellow, so loving, so kind. Like I know him. I know his love. He's just so pure.
Despite how sweet and loving he is, he wasn't always treated the way he deserved.
I would just like raise my hand to like tuck my hair behind my head or just picking up my hand and he would flinch. Whoever had him in a yard. He got out. They weren't nice to him. They would hit him. He had hot spots all over his belly and his eyes were missing a lot of fur. Like you could tell he was stressed and allergies and just, it was just so sad. I was going through a lot of changes in my life. I went to my local humane study. I took my mom with me. I see this pit bull mix just sitting there staring into my soul. Like he was looking at me like, come get me out of here. They were putting weight on him. And even when I saw him, I was like, he's skinny, like he's bones. Like you could see his ribs. He had missing fur chunks all over.
Katrina did what it took to make sure Kairo felt loved. And he's unafraid to demand that love from everyone he meets.
He loves people. I think anyone who's willing to give him his like 5 seconds of fame, he's all about. Everyone that meets him is like, oh, he's just such a ham because he'll literally jump up on you, ask for hugs. When we would go out to like different stores, people would automatically be like, oh my God, he's just so handsome. And of course he eats that up. So he's, you know, his butt's going a million miles an hour. He's protective. He's loyal. I mean, I really can't even pick one thing. He's just, I told somebody else, I was like, I feel like he's my soul dog.
Mister, I don't know if you know this, but it's illegal in this country to be that cute.
I wish people would reshape the way they think about these dogs. It's so sad. I look at it as like, these people don't matter because as long as I can say what I feel like Kairo is, what his breed is, then they don't matter. It doesn't matter what they say because I can spread Kairo's word for him. He shows me endless love and loyalty. Like I couldn't ask for a better dog. I really couldn't.
All pit bulls deserve a chance to be loved and give love, just like Kairo and his kittens.
And Kairo loves his little kitty friends. He's like, hello, good day, hello.
Subscribe if you love dogs as much as I do. Turn on notifications for more awesome stories like this. And hit that like button if you want me to keep telling these stories. Oh, and I put a link down in the description below for a story I know you'll love.